Okay, this is going to be my 17th YouTube video. This time I'm just going to be using it to be my virtual book club member, and I'm going to put in a book that I've read and ask it to summarize it for me and do all that. You're going to see me doing a lot more of this stuff where I input data from other sources and then have it present something. This one is called Fooled by Randomness, and in that case, it really lays out a lot of stuff, and it kind of looks at it from a financial standpoint and how we're fooled by information all the time. Anyway, I'll start more of this kind of stuff, especially toward the finance side of it, and I hope you enjoy this video. Hey, yeah, so I am going to use this Chat GPT here as a virtual book club, and I'm going to ask it to tell me some things in a book that I read years ago called "Fooled by Randomness" by Nassim Taleb. And so, it's going to come back here and give you everything. I kind of picked this because it really goes into a lot of stuff today that's really happening in the financial markets and how we all get fooled by, watching daily stock prices and all that kind of stuff. And you're going to see me start really ramping up more from a financial standpoint how AI can help us. And I will go through a lot of that stuff. But this is kind of my first start at that, and I'm just using it as a virtual book club, and it's going to, it's going here and talking about how to based on this guy's book. It was really good. I read this thing like 15 years ago, how to apply it, this fooled by randomness to life and investing. And it goes in and really goes through and talks a lot about that. And then, as it kind of goes through here, it gives me a good summary and what I can learn chapter by chapter and all that stuff. And so let's just kind of let it run here. And then at the end, I asked it to print me a PDF summary of that, and I went forward with that. So, um, you know, again, um, you can use ChatGPT to kind of do a whole lot of stuff here. You don't have to take everything it says, but it'll give you a good outline and it'll really help you kind of get through a lot of information very, very quickly. And, I asked it here now to, give me a chapter by chapter summary. And let's just see what it comes back and says as you do that. And here it comes. And again, it keeps, the other thing I want to point out here is I am talking to it back and forth, asking it questions. And so, it really goes through and talks about some interesting things to learn from all this about, especially if you're thinking about what's happening in the stock markets today or how it affects us in life and all that. And, it goes through every chapter here and kind of tells you what to think about. And then, you know, talks about some of the lessons you should get out of it and how to apply it. And I just found this to be something that really opened my eyes. This guy wrote another book called The Black Swan, and talked about how that's another interesting book. But anyway, um, you know he this fooled by randomness and goes through a lot of talking about why too much investment excess is based on all this emotional noise and all that. And then, talked about envy, which I thought was interesting and how that compares on what we do every day in life. And then, really just keeps going on and on here about what all the different chapters and how a lot of what we experience in life is luck. And I know that's hard to believe, but he goes through in that and talks about it and then just gives you practical wisdom, gamblers, investors in the market, and then the emotional cost of randomness. And then in conclusion, he says, "Lucky man will see how he finishes lessons." Anyway, so the big picture takeaway is laid out here with humility, process over outcome, long-term focus, emotional resilience, and just he goes through that, and then he says, "Do you want me to produce a PDF?" And I do tell it yes. I'm not going to do that here because you can do that, but it really gave me a good view of what this book is. And I hadn't read it in a while, but it kind of reinstituted it so I don't have to go back and read the whole thing again. With that, that is my 17th episode, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. I'm going to start doing a lot more of this stuff where I feed information into uh, the Chat GPT and that kind of stuff to get information out and kind of talk back and forth, and we'll see where that goes. But I look forward to seeing you and talk to you soon. And if you like, hit like, and I will see you in my next episode.